What's going on, gamers? It's your boy Daily Tactics here, and today we're back in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 with 5.66 million rioters here who are rising up against the modern soldiers up here holding out a desert fortress defense. Can these 10,447 modern soldiers defeat 5.66 million rioters, or will they crumble? Let's get into this battle. If you guys enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe with notifications on if you haven't already, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more. Let's do it. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Okay then, boyos, pressing start right now, and the battle should be kicking off. And yes, indeed, we have tons of riders just charging from all different directions here. Look how far they go. It is absolutely insane. And the modern soldiers are beginning to just spray and pray right now from the tops of the buildings within the fortress, as well as on top of the fortress walls. Now, there were a few poor chaps here who sadly spawned outside of the fortress walls. So these guys are immediately getting trapped and cut to ribbons by the rioters. Oh, these poor men. Yeah, they're basically all dead now, and now they're officially dead. Okay, rip to those boys. There's probably a couple more on the other sides as well, but they're dying and they're out of here. At the moment, we do have 19 dead modern soldiers compared to 4,000 dead rioters at the moment. So rioters are taking extreme losses, and the modern soldiers are not so much taking extreme losses. Now, before we continue, I do want to let you guys know that the experimental mod is off here. So many of you will know the experimental mod is when sort of the red wine that comes from humans when they get punctured. I'm trying to avoid YouTube demonetizing this video. Okay, fine, I'll just say it. The blood. When it pools in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 if you have the experimental mod on, and it can actually make these massive lakes. And what essentially happens during fortress defenses like this is the hallways here get clogged up, then the red wine, quote unquote, pools up within the fortress itself and drowns all of the inhabitants. So I turned that off for this battle because a lot of people were saying they don't love it on defense battles. Some people do enjoy it on defense battles, but lots more are like, I'd rather you just kind of run the battle. Don't use the experimental mod because it kind of ruins the defenses. So I figured that's a fair request. Let's go ahead and try this one without it. Of course, if you guys want it back on in the future, please let me know in the comment section. I try and always do, what everyone, or at least the majority of people, want to see in videos, because I want as many people as possible to be as entertained as possible by these videos. That's the whole point of YouTube, is entertaining people. So, I want you guys to let me know what you think, any improvements I can make, anything along those lines, and I will try and do it. Of course, I cannot please everyone, and there are a lot of limitations to Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 as a battle simulator as a whole. It's not like in Men of War where you can really customize things to a T. There's a little bit less customization in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. I do try my best, but there are limitations to those things, and I can't necessarily do everything. But either way, this battle seems to be going fairly well thus far. I mean, the modern soldiers are just blasting these doorways, and that's all they really have to do, man. If they can keep these choke points completely clogged up, prevent all of these knights from getting in, then they get themselves a nice, easy dubski-webski here. Of course, the second one of these doorways starts to fall, I think we're going to be seeing some serious problems for the modern soldiers. So it's just a matter of, can they keep this under locks, or will they inevitably end up falling due to just the sheer number of modern soldiers attacking? And I do expect the body piles to rise pretty significantly in this video as well. You know, I imagine by the end of this thing, this entire wall will just be bodies, and the soldiers will no longer really be coming through a choke point, but rather just be walking over the walls, the hill of bodies. That's probably what this is going to become, and that might actually cause some problems for the modern soldiers inside, of course, because then they're not dealing with choke points, they're just dealing with folks surrounding them as a whole, which will be a lot harder to stop. But let's go ahead and see how this goes, you know, overall for the modern soldiers in a little bit of a time lapse. I'm thinking let's start our first time lapse with just watching, you know, these guys shooting into this choke point and watching the choke point close up as more and more bodies fall. We do have 22 now dead modern soldiers and 36,000 dead rioters. Let's go ahead and cue this time lapse. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get into it. So exactly what we thought would happen, happened. The foot soldiers here have completely clogged up this area and are now running out to meet the modern soldiers, resulting in them actually getting a few more kills. And I bet in every other entrance, yep, same thing is happening. So the modern soldiers have lost 170 now. Doesn't sound like a lot, but every soldier really does matter in this instance for the modern boys. If they lose too many, they're goners. That's just the way it works in this thing. But, I mean, they're still holding fairly strong here, and they've still got so many soldiers within that I'm not too worried. Not to mention the snipers they've got over here are doing some work. I mean, look at the bodies out here that are getting hit. Also, all these guys are getting damaged just bit by these snipers. So the snipers are certainly helping out a lot too, and that's sort of what led them to get 188,000 kills right off the rip here, and hopefully many, many more to come. But why don't we go ahead and do a time lapse just above like this of everything going on. I know a lot of people really do enjoy these what do we call it? Bird's eye view time lapses. I'm having brain farts today. Just my brain is farting and pooping everywhere. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and run this time lapse, get sort of a bird's eye view of everything going on the battlefield here, and we'll be back probably like 30-45 minutes, I feel like. Alright boys, so it looks like we have 500 dead modern soldiers at this point and 382,000 dead rioters. Whew. However, I do think that the modern soldier defense might only get tougher from here, as it's going to be activating all of these boys in here that aren't really firing out too much right now. So the closer they get into that center area, it could get even more deadly. Now what I want to do is I want to run like a real long time lapse here. I think that would be kind of cool. I might just go for a run or something like that while we run this, but let's go ahead and do a pretty decently long one of just like the center area here and watch as the riders continue to pour on in. Actually, maybe we should do another angle since our previous angles were both sort of pointing that way before. That way we could see some like other entrances and stuff like that during this time lapse instead of getting the same entrance point. As of right now, I'm thinking, I think the modern soldiers do have a solid chance at winning this. It's really going to dumb down to how the middle section ends up holding. The outer section has done a good job thus far, but they are susceptible to defeat. So if the middle section can hold really well in the times to come, I think we've got a good opportunity here for the modern soldiers, but it's just yet to be seen if they're going to win or not. Right now, there's about 5 million rioters still alive and about 10,000 modern soldiers still alive. So not a ton has changed in this time, but a decent amount. So let's run this super long time lapse and see what happens. Alright, so that time lapse was about an hour and a half. I didn't go for a run, I went to Dunkin' Donuts and got a coffee. My life choices. Either way, we do have 2,600 dead modern soldiers now and 1.2 million dead rioters. It could be more than that. Actually, I think it is more than that, since sometimes rioters will die due to like cramming of entities. Like over here, they might suffocate from them being inside of each other and stuff like that. That sounded wrong, but you get what I'm trying to say. So we can sometimes have more dead than are actually killed by the defenders in battles like these. But either way, this battle is going great, exactly how we want it to be going, with the defenders just absolutely balling out. It seems like the front entrance over here is doing the best. Meanwhile, the side entrances are resulting in a little bit of overtaking by the rioters, as these walls have just been breached on all sides over here, which is absolutely crazy. And over here too, the back wall is about to be breached pretty badly too, so that'll definitely be a bit of a yikes as well. So I'm just gonna let this run for a bit and we'll be back and see what happens. Okay guys, so it was only about 45 minutes more later and we have the defeat of the modern soldiers. There's like a few on these ramparts, but for whatever reason, the enemy knights can't get to them. There's only 11 total modern soldiers left. Don't know why these knights can't get to them. But we did have 2.1 million dead knights. I think what ended up happening basically was the knights just built body piles so high that it was basically, the modern soldiers were surrounded at that point. There was no fortress anymore. It was simply just them being completely surrounded by soldiers. There was no fortress protection, no choke points, and they got destroyed. Which is big sad to see, but still a pretty sick battle nonetheless. I thought this was very fun. I honestly thought the modern soldiers would win, but they just couldn't pull it off. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. Please be sure to hit that like button if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more in the future. Either way guys, I will see you all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.